First Voynich Manuscript's Folio F1R has amazing roots and tokens. Now or never it is. We all want to know what the Voynich MS hides in its entrails. At least, I do. But little did you know that the first page actually has a lot to say on its own, right? With its 28 lines and 177 spaces, that amounts to 206 words in total. How much is that to chew? Not a lot at all. But since words have building blocks, we expect to find some of those in the first page. Right? Of course. If you haven't seen my earlier video, go check it out in the YouTube corner as suggested. Let us see why Folio F1R has amazing roots and tokens. As I said previously, the symbols that appear in the Voynich MS reveal a clear glyph structure that is based on 7 symbols and 1 repeating symbol, or so. How on earth do you expect to study the manuscript if you fail to recognize this aspect? Thankfully, I have revealed it in my previous videos. Now, I want you to picture this. As I was hearing the first video I made about Folio F1R, it seemed clear that there are some roots that you can discern. Keep a close attention and you will see that things like NER, NEH, and RAM repeat ever so often. Here is a summary table of consonant 1 versus consonant 2 and statistics of occurrence of a vowel between them. As evidenced by Table 1, there is a recurrent referral from line 1 consonants to column 2 consonants in a triangular shape. So, for example, an ER would occur a significant number of times, namely 45. Whereas, REN would never occur as significantly. So, when a combination C1 VC2 occurs, the combination C2 VC1 does not seem to be part of the language. Also, the most common letters as vowels within word roots are A and E. In the next table, we keep only the significant bit of every combination. What I suggest from the table 2, using the symbol X, is that those combinations C1 VC2 are possible and will appear in the language. Owing to scientific research what I know of the matter, I want to make this bold statement. The JP system will reveal in due time all tokens that are marked as X. As a rule of thumb, I will suggest also that in every corner of the manuscript, word roots will assemble as C1AC2, or C1EC2, that is with A and E vowels. If any vowel comes between the 2 consonants, the syllable will not be regarded as a root or a token. Either we make it or we break it, but we need to brute force our way into solving this mystery. My idea here is that, if you have to build a language, you are prone to put rules that give you less freedom. And by that token, you'd have to respect those rules if you want to be any successful. In the next table, we can see how, out of 206 words, there are a few roots that appear most of the time. The ratio has been calculated as number of appearances of root over number of words. The ratio is a score rather than a percentage. This is because, a word can contain many roots, and a root can appear many times in the same word. Don't get me wrong, even as low as 3% for a root such as MAS, or MAT, is significantly large. Remember that we are dealing here with a language, and anything beyond 0.5% is something of importance. Just calculate the ratio for the word ice in this content, and picture that I said it only once in all of this conversation. So you'd expect it to have a very low occurrence, given the total number of words. Meanwhile, if an extraterrestrial doesn't recognize that that secret word I said is indeed a word, I won't blame him. I would much rather have him understand things such as pronouns and movement verbs, than things such as physical states of water. Here, I want you to picture how the FSG system scrambles my word roots so that I lose all control over deciphering the content. The diagram shown here is a proof of concept of why FSG might be the pain dealer. Diagram 1's first line displays the word matinero that appears in my JP voiceover video. As I picked and chose the roots, it so happens that MAT in yellow and an ER in green are roots. In the FSG system, they would appear like shown in line 2. So the root MAT gets interleaved with an I, which will break the meaning. The root in ER will get interleaved with an O, which also deals a knockout to the meaning. Convinced? Or, not yet? If the word matinero is significant, you will often see the combination T, E, N, also, which would suggest that it is a root. So, you'll miss the idea that it is made out of parts of 2 roots. That is all you need to know for now. Again, in diagram 2, you can see what happens to roots. You seem to get 2-letter roots, which is not what you would expect. You also have 3-letter scrambled roots that arrange themselves in couples. So it is even harder to extract information from such words. In this example, the 3-letter components that combine 2 roots are S, E, N, and M, A, N. The 2-letter components that is only a part of a root is A, R. Didn't I say that Folio F1R has amazing roots and tokens? What do you expect? If you lose information, you doom yourself to stay in the gibberish zone. We want to decode the manuscript now or never. This is the purpose of this channel, so stay tuned for more.